Hey, this is Mark, and I wanted to share with you my 2 cents on Nancy's journey on the Appalachian Trail. When Nancy called me up, this has been an amazing trip for her and me because I've seen things I've never seen before. Seen valleys and sights that were like, what the heck? When she called me up, I really gave her some tough love right away because I didn't want her goal was to do the Appalachian Trail in a through hike. But a couple things happened. Then I'll explain them to you. When she called me up and I kind of gave her some tough love, her first comment was, Mark, I don't feel good. I'm not sleeping well. I'm not eating. And when I looked at her eyes, the glint was gone. So I drove up to get her. I left where we live. It was an 8.5 hour drive. Left at midnight, picked her up at 8:30. And Nancy looked like she needed to come home. And a couple reasons for it. Right? One, she wasn't eating. Her body was just telling her that, hey, she couldn't keep up. She'd have some soup in the morning, some bars during the day, drink water, electrolytes, get back to her tent, and she didn't want to eat. And her body was starting to react to that. So she totally made the right decision. But a couple things happened. One is, I'm the third wheel in our totem pole. If you haven't noticed that. Mako was her buddy. And when I had to pick Mako up when she first started out in Pennsylvania, it was 90 some degrees. And Mako's a big dog. He's 70 pounds. He's got this black curly hair, and he couldn't hike in 70 degrees. Just wasn't going to work. So I was going to take him home. And if you heard this, all of a sudden my drives were 8.5 hours. They weren't 2 hours, 2.5 hours to see her. And then this part of Pennsylvania was really rocky. So Nancy was not going to see her hiking buddy for probably 20 days. And I knew it was going to affect her. The second part of this is Nancy and I are going to have our 40th wedding anniversary October 23rd. 40 years. And when we first met, I think both of us thought we were going to be single all our lives. But we've had 40 great years, and we are not apart from each other very often. We are, but not for a month, not for 2 months. And all that started really kind of affecting both of us. We live in a lake, live in an RV, we have a great place, and if you saw the videos, we just thoroughly enjoy each other, but all of a sudden, I was single. I didn't know what to do. I know she felt the same way. And she didn't have her bud. She didn't have Mako. So when this trip first started, I'm what they call a trail angel, mostly to her. But it was so cool because my drives were, I started in Georgia. I was going to Sweetwater, Tennessee, and kind of swirling around. And it was a 2.5 hour drive, and I was finding them up in these mountains that I've never seen before. And we had an app called Guthook, or I think it's called something else now, but I could go find where the trail would come off and meet a road, and I put in my Apple Maps, and it would take me right to it. And some of these places I found them at. I'd be driving in a road, all of a sudden I had to get off the road, and I'm going up in these mountains like, what the heck, where am I going? And then I get on a single lane road and drive for 15 minutes, and all of a sudden it get me to a little spot, and I'd park, and here they'd come. It was just really cool. It was a fun part of the journey. So that was Georgia, North Carolina, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, just amazing. And they're all amazing places. It was Maryland was really beautiful, and so was Pennsylvania. But it changed for us because all of a sudden it wasn't a 2 hour drive. It was like 2 to 4 for a long time. But then the drive went to 6.5, then 8.5, mostly on 81. And I'd go to little towns. The last time I was there, I slept 4 nights in Waynesboro, Pennsylvania, in a Walmart parking lot. And it was hot. And there's no way that if Mako was coming up the trail, he could do that. And we weren't going to pay for motel rooms every night. So anyway, Nancy's met some great people, and so have I. Great, great people. And she's had so many people give her so many compliments. See, the whole beauty of this, she walked almost 1,200 miles, 4 months. But she's going to be gone from us for another 4 months. And it just didn't become that important to her. So, for as young as she is, and hiking almost 1,200 miles is really stinking amazing. For the people I've met, thank you. For the people I haven't met, but you've been following Nancy, thank you. Because she thoroughly, when she makes that comment, thank you for following her, that's her. So y'all take care. I know you're going to see more videos of her on the lake, hiking, singing new songs, and just thoroughly enjoying her life. And I think y'all should bug her so she writes a book. Y'all take care.